what do you think about the dumbbells? Is this only for the drama? Like,
It's heavy. It's too heavy. In my opinion, this workout, like it's all about the dumbbells. You need
yeah.
of course you need to be a strong athlete and you need some engine. We tested this workout and so the thing is, okay.
What you said?
Now the thing is, we like the how do you say it? The audio, like we only have this pair of headphones, so we are listening to you from
Oh, on the
here.
computer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can. Otherwise, I can like join the meeting through my phone. Just put my AirPods, so we have two audio things. But I think we can hear you through here.
Yeah, it's fine.
If it's okay for you, it's okay for me.
Yeah, it's perfect.
No.
Awesome, man. I just watched I think America West and Oceania is going on right now.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any horses in the races there?
Yeah, we have Alexia. She's on Copa Sur in Brazil, and she's second at the moment.
Is South America also running?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. But they have no live stream for that.
Yeah, no, it's always a shit show over there. And the leaderboard takes so long to get
To update
in the correct order and everything.
Oh, where?
Just saw a video. There is a man who just did 141 kilo snatch. Have you seen that?
Oh, wow, no. 141?
141 kilograms of snatch. That is crazy.
Ooh, nice. How many pounds is that? Like 300?
315.
300, 310, 310.
310. That's the biggest weight so far, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's the heaviest.
Wow. Who is that?
That makes me feel so bad.
Yeah, Jake Douglas.
Jake Douglas. Oh, yeah. He's strong as shit in Oceania. Alexia, second place so far. How many people in South America do qualify? Only one or two? Two? Oh, that's nice.
It's hard to qualify over there, so but the level is also
not so high,
worse than here. So
yeah, but I think, is this the region where Victoria Campos is in?
Yeah, I think so. Victoria Campos, Julia
Nieves?
Cato,
Yes.
What's the one from Mayhem?
Sasha Nieves?
Sasha Nieves.
Sasha Nieves, yeah.
Valentina Rangel, who also goes from Spain. She's Colombian, but she's also very good.
I don't know where is she placing right now.
I think she was like sixth, something like that.
Fourth right now. She's placing fourth. Andrea Beneito placing first.
She's first, yeah.
How do you see Alexia's chances?
She didn't have the best season because she has a couple injuries. She unfortunately, like I think 1 month ago, she cut 2 tendons off her foot.
Yeah, it's like 1 week prior to semis, to quarterfinals.
Oh,
yeah,
man,
1 week prior to
sucks.
quarterfinals, she cut 2 tendons off her foot. So she lost the control of 3 fingers of 3 toes. Sorry.
Wow.
And so she couldn't train much for the last weeks. But yeah, I don't know. Who knows?
Does she feel anything? Does she feel anything right now in the toes?
No,
I think she can feel, but she cannot move them. So
yeah. Oh, wow.
It's like the 3 little toes, but still, it's always a bad injury.
Man.
Yeah, like those toes are dead.
Yeah, she cannot.
Are dead. She needs to get surgery, but she probably will get surgery after semifinals. Or maybe after the games, if we're lucky.
if she qualifies, she's not gonna get surgery before after the games,
or I don't think so because it takes a long process.
Ending injury, surgery. So
wow.
So she has to wait.
But and that's gonna
also
affect
dangerous
you
because of the risk of getting an infection after surgery and all that thing. So I don't know if the risk is really high. So if she makes it to the games, she probably will get surgery after the games, I think.
Wow. How did she do that?
a broken plate, like a plate fell from her hands
Oh
while she
man.
was cleaning, and
smashed her toes. Oh
yeah,
fuck, man. Holy shit. That's gonna put you off the hook. Like in weightlifting, in balance things, but
yeah,
also
and
on running and
running.
stuff.
Especially,
Wow.
yeah, like things that where you need some balance,
Yeah.
weightlifting, or maybe not especially like heavy lifting, but maybe like running or doing, I don't know, like shuttle runs or rope climbs with your using your feet, you know.
Or depending how you do your pistols, also like most
Yeah,
athletes go a bit on their toes. So
but it's funny, like
Wow.
you never know how can you get injured. Like
Yeah.
one day you stretch, you get to the chiropractor, you go to the physio or whatever. You take a lot of care of yourself, and one time you're just washing your, just doing home stuff, and you cut off two fingers.
Yeah.
You break
Or
a
you
plate,
smash
and
or you smash a fucking plate on your toes. It's also
it's
like
everything is
that
unpredictable.
sucks, man. Oh man, that sucks. But I was pretty excited for her for this semis. I think.
Yeah.
Do you think the semifinal, like the programming, like favors the stronger athlete in general?
I, I don't think it favors like the strong athletes, but maybe there's some couple events where being like a big athlete, it always if you have a good engine, it's like better because the running we have like it's in a machine, in the machine with the sleds,
Yeah.
the snatch with the running, it's like it's a distance and like in a mode that a big athlete can do it good.
Yeah, I think like it doesn't benefit especially strong athletes because running determines, like, it's a big factor, plays a big role in the semifinals. But being a big athlete, I think it's also good for these events. Even like there's a lot of running
Mm.
involved. Running in a machine is a little, I consider it a little different than running in flat surface. But and also like the pulling of the sled and everything. I mean, I wouldn't say it's a competition for small athletes, but regardless, there is a lot of running involved. So you better be good at running if you want to be
And
good
running fast.
at semifinals.
Yeah.
Also for the Linda, like it's not very heavy, but depending on the semifinals, like here in Europe, like people are not usually as strong bench pressing like in the USA. So
Mm.
40-kilo dumbbells are pretty determinant for that what. Uh, but again, like a pretty average athlete can move those dumbbells correctly if he's good bench pressing.
Yeah. Oh man, I have two questions about the running, but Linda, like you said, I think even like for Linda, even the running matters. Like the transitions, like running from the bench to the whatever,
It's
and
like,
not just walking. Like it does count, doesn't it?
yeah, I remember doing this workout in regionals. It was the first year where they added the bench pressing, and it
Yeah.
was with the same weight but with the barbell. And the bench press plays a big role in that event, and maybe you don't have to run that fast in transitions, but you have to consider that the farther you go in the workout, the farther goes the barbell.
Yeah.
So you can't sleep in transitions,
Yeah.
but and it's hard to pace sometimes because the higher reps, the sets with the higher reps, like 10, 10, 9, 8, 7,
Yeah.
they're closer to you. The barbell is closer to you, So if it starts farther, it's easier for you to pace because you can walk. But if like
Yeah.
being like having the barbell that close to you, it makes it harder because you see people beginning the set quicker. And I remember struggling with that, like trying to pace myself was a bit hard.
My friend here is one of the
Interesting.
quickest transitioners around. Like he runs from one to the other.
What do you think about the dumbbells? Is this only for the drama? Like,
It's heavy. It's too heavy. In my opinion, this workout, like, it's all about the dumbbells. You know, you need of course you need to be a strong athlete and you need some engine. You know, we tested this workout and it's not like, oh, it's just heavy. It's just a pump workout. It is not. It's a really heavy workout and you need to be good at CrossFit. But the bench press, it's too determinant. Like for me, in my opinion, the dumbbells were too heavy. If you want to test a good athlete and good CrossFitter, and good, you know, average performance or fitness, I think that, you know, lighter dumbbells would also be good. You know, 40 kilograms, like, how much is that in pounds?
I think it's
90 pounds.
90 pounds, yeah.
90 pounds dumbbells. That I consider it way too heavy.
But again, like, it depends, like, on the region. Like in the USA, they're so used to doing heavy bench pressing. Like the numbers are so different from here. You could see it last year in the CrossFit Total in the qualifiers also. So it's a different workout for those regions and for the European region maybe.
Interesting.
And also I would have, like, you want to put like a different object, like not a bench pressing bar. So maybe you could go with 2 heavy kettlebells like we've seen in the game for the deadlift, like do all the 3 of them odd objects. So it's just not dependent on the bench press.
Yeah, like,
interesting.
As we were saying, apparently in the US, for some reason, people are way better than bench pressing than us.
They train in school.
They train. You guys train?
I think so. It's because of college sports. Like, if you're NFL or NHL, they always do bench press and stuff. I think there's even, like, for getting in the college, you have to do like a max bench press or something like that.
That's it. So you guys, they bench press way more than us.
In the combine, to get in the NFL,
yeah,
they have
exactly.
to, like, with 100 kilos maximum reps.
Yeah,
I think the record stands like around 49, something like that.
Man,
they bench press, we run.
Yeah, exactly. And we play soccer.
We play games.
We play soccer. We play basketball.
Yeah,
it's
always so interesting. It's always so interesting because the focus of the show is on the European region, and like maybe like 90% of the athletes I had on the show played soccer as a background. It's insane. It's insane. Yeah, but would it make a difference? Like, it's 40 kg dumbbells, so this is like 80 kg in total. Would it make a difference if it's a barbell with 80 kg?
To do 80 kilo bench press with a bar.
And also, like, the factor or having to start the set on the top with your arms locked to begin the rep is also, you know, I like the workout, but in my opinion, like the movement standard, it's a little, you know, tricky. And
that fucked up Brooke Wells last week.
What?
That standard fucked up Brooke Wells last week.
Yeah, like, she, you know, having to begin on top. It's also like you need a skill. It's also, you have to develop that skill to put your dumbbells to begin the sets with your arms locked on the top. And that is a good, you know, you need that skill. But I think it's a little risky. It's a little...
I think the only reason they said that as a standard is because when you bench press with a bar, like, you're starting up top.
Yeah.
The bar is
on top.
Yeah. So
the bar is on top.
It doesn't make sense because that's like an extra rep for the dumbbells.
Exactly. I was going to say that.
You know, we've been training this. We've been, you know, of course, like, we are the 3rd week or the 4th week of semifinals. So we have a little bit more time to prepare this. So we've been testing and trying to set up the dumbbells on top, you know, because we want to be prepared for hitting those reps. And we've been testing it. And I put myself as an example. You know, I was close to hurting myself on my shoulders trying to balance those dumbbells on top of the first rep. So I don't really like that standard, like, beginning on the top of the rep. I think that it would have been way easier and would have been the same just beginning the rep on your chest. I think
it's safer, and
it is the same test.
Yeah. Yeah, depending on how much you break it up, you do a lot of extra reps.
That's the thing. Like
every time you break.
if you begin in the
Yeah.
top, you have to think twice before you break up the set because
Yeah.
no one wants to break up that set.
Yeah, man, that really that hurts.
Yeah, it's a lot of
And
chest
also,
pump though.
and also, it's like I think they put in the dumbbells for like the drama. Like when you fail a rep on the barbell, you just re-rack it. But when you fail on the dumbbells, maybe they bounce around, get into another lane,
Right.
or hit another athlete or whatever the fuck, you know.
Yeah,
That's insane. Yeah, but
you can break
what
some
about the
toes
running, man?
accidentally.
Yeah, smashing. Maybe Alexia smashes some other toes. No.
No. She got 7 left, so
Yeah,
still
we hope
some
not.
range, some room for more toes.
But about the
Great.
running, man, I think as a spectator, it annoys me so much that the running is on an air runner.
You think it's boring?
Yeah.
It's so boring. Like, man, for example, the workout which ends on the 800-meter run. I want to see where the people are, like in the race. I want to see like people passing each other, like or hitting it. Like even the athletes, they have no idea where the other persons are, so they cannot push themselves as much as it would be side to side on a track. So and it's so boring for the spectators.
Yes, as a spectator, it's much boring seeing it that way. But also, I think we're way behind in technology. Like, I think it was like 4 or 5 years ago when they did the half marathon with the road, the games. Then they did the marathon. Yep. They had this big screen showing them what was their position, so everyone could see it.
Yeah.
I think if you use at least those kind of
at least that, yeah. At least that.
It's like because for me, like I like that event. You know, I really like that event.
Yeah, it's a good event.
But I'm participating and I like that event, those kind of events. Yeah. But I agree with you that running in the machine is, especially like such a long distance. It's 2K. It's a lot of distance. It's a little boring. It's also running in that machine for 2K. It's a little boring. 800 meters, okay, I'll take it. But because it's a sprint, you know, I think those running machines are way cool. Like it's cool to see that it's a sprint, to see people sprinting in that machine. But 2K might be a little boring because you never know. You don't know until
is much different.
Like until the judge raises his hand, you don't know if this athlete is moving forward, is advancing, what is happening. And as a small athlete, you know, I'm 80, my body weight is 80 kilos, so 78, and you know, it's beneficial for me to run outside. So I'm good at running, but I don't see that I can take such an advantage running on a machine comparing to heavier athletes.
Yeah, again, what we were talking before, like being a heavy athlete, a big athlete, if you have a good engine, like you're not going to be as penalized running on a treadmill on an assault runner as running in the street.
Yeah.
Again, I would have like in that workout in the second part, like the snatches being a bit heavier. So going unbroken would have been something a bit more difficult.
Yeah, I think so too, especially for the women, I think.
Yeah, those the snatches are a little bit lighter for women in proportional, I think. I don't know, like I don't want to, you know, but I think that they can lift 50 is what is it? It's 50 kilos. 50 kilos.
I think like 55 or 52.5, I think something like that.
Yeah, it's
125. Yeah.
Than for us.
Yeah. Like basically we will not see anyone break this up.
Yeah, no. And if you break up that set, you're out.
You're out. Yeah.
You're totally out. Unfortunately, you know, maybe something can happen. You can just slip, or you can just, I don't know, lose your grip for some reason. But that's part of the game, you know, that's part of the competition. Those things can happen. But yeah, I think that if you want to benefit a little heavier athletes, or like, you know, if you want to test this as a strength, workout, maybe a little heavier would
A
have
little
been
heavier and running
just,
outside.
you know, a little heavy. Like
that combo is good.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
But I understand that, you know, like making a setup for running outside, and if every semifinal is gonna have the same workout,
Sure. Yeah.
it's hard to, you know, to choose a venue where you can run outside. There's so many things you have to you have to
consider. Yeah, sure.
That, like it's semifinals, like it's gonna be no running outside, no swimming, and maybe like it's time.
Yeah, that's it.
That we hold a bit of a higher standard for semis also. Like it's not games, but it should be something close to it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like I get that, but I think even shuttle runs would be nicer to watch.
Yeah, maybe
it would be a different workout, but
much different shuttles. You're gonna make like a big sprint, like
it would be a different workout, but it would be more fun to watch. Like
yeah, but it was good this year. They added shuttle runs to the Open. Like we've been waiting for that for many years.
It's been a lot of running lately.
Yeah, I think we're gonna see at the games. We will see traditionally like even more running. Like
I think so. I mean, I think it's okay. Like running is such a basic skill for fitness. Yep. You should be good at running if you want to be a good athlete in general. Like running, running is fundamental.
Yeah. Didn't they do like running outside in Oceania last year, like this King Arthur event, where they walked around the stadium? I think so.
They running outside?
Yeah, last year. I think so.
In Asia?
In Oceania, in Australia.
Oceania. Okay, last year,
but the workouts were different every semifinal. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's true. There was the workouts. Yeah, I mean, this is why we are running in a machine, because we are all doing the same workouts. But that is not the problem. The problem, like the thing is that we are all sharing a leaderboard worldwide, and this is why all the tests must be the same,
basically the same. Yeah,
but still it's impossible. Like
like the floor,
the sled with the floor, like the friction coefficient, like you cannot know it for sure how it's gonna be. So that workout, the sled is so determinant that it changes a lot.
Yeah, if the sled slides a little, just a little more, it makes the workout way easier and way more beneficial for smaller athletes. The heavier the sled gets, the easy, that, you know, the more advantage for heavy people or strong people.
Yeah, we all know the comments from the games when they had the sled on the grass, and some lanes were faster than the other.
And it's true. This is the sled is complicated. It's a, you know, it's a
that sled is another thing.
Lately, responses from the CrossFit Games are like a bit weird with some situations.
Yeah. But that sled is another thing
that you were taking out.
Oh yeah. What was going on with him? I think he had an injury and asked if he could continue, but they didn't let him.
Because when you compete,
no, as far as I've heard, like he injured her pectoral. He had a tear training in the complex. And he wrote CrossFit to see if there was going to be like a minimum work requirement in every walk. They did not answer, or they answer that they would state everything there. And they say that there was no minimum work requirement. So he just, I think he was doing pull-ups or something like that in the ranks. And after like 15 minutes prior to the third workout, like CrossFit took him and another athlete, like allegedly, I think one of them because risk of injury, which they have never done. Like we've seen people compete like with a broken Achilles with a boot, and like being like so inspirational. And I think they say that Alexander did not do like the effort,
enough, right?
Enough effort, like for the workout, for the show. But that's never been an issue in CrossFit. So I think like doing new rules like on the fly, that's like super hurtful for athletes. Like Alexander Caron broke his knee tendon like a couple of years ago doing the CrossFit Total with the wet floor. I think he also complained about it. He was told like the show must go on, and he broke their tendon. So I think they should be more careful with some of the things they do, because like people are taking like they live from the sport professionally, and playing with that, it's a bit risky.
Yeah, I understand his point of view. Like, he got injured, so he goes to semifinals. They always in the brief they tell you, hey, like you got to keep moving if you want to keep competing. You're gonna keep moving. If you cannot move, if you cannot do a movement for whatever, for pain, you cannot keep with the competition for your health. They supposedly do this for your health. And me, as someone who has been injured for a while, and for example, like for me, I want to go to semifinals and try to go through all the events, feeling healthy, and I would just want to perform and try to do all the movements. And if I cannot do, if I can't do some movement properly because of pain, at least I want to come. I want to enjoy semifinals. I want to keep competing the whole weekend. But maybe I won't be able to do this event properly, but at least I want to go through it. And I understand him. Like, okay, since I got to keep moving and I cannot skip a workout, at least they're going to come here, I'm going to come out and do whatever I can. And that's what happened to him. Like, he got an injury, so at least he tried to keep moving to show that, hey, I'm still here. Maybe I cannot finish the complex, but at least I'm here, and they keep him out. So
They've never done that. They have never done that before.
No, and the really troublesome thing about it is that there were many athletes who scored 0 burpees in that workout, and some of them, like Sydney Wells, even qualified for the game. So he was not wrong thinking he could go into that world not doing any effort because
of course
there was no minimum work requirement, which would have been like the easiest solution. But
he would still have a chance.
Now we will never know. That is the thing. Like, at least, and it's really hard for an athlete to get out of the competition halfway, like not being able to finish all the.
But that's also insane. Like, Sydney Wells put a 0 at one test and still qualifies. What do you think about that? If you look to, because basically I always, in the past years, it was always like, if you have one really bad event, you're pretty much out.
I think that depends on the region, because like I feel like watching different regions, like you have like a small group of very good athletes who they're probably going to qualify. Maybe if there's like 12 spots they had, or 11 spots in Northeast, there were 12, like I think 12, 13, 14 who could have like a strong chance of qualifying. But if you look over to like Europe, like at least in the male side, like there's 11 spots. But if you make your like you count, there's probably like 20, 21 athletes who have a real possibility of going to the games. So I think if you get a 0 in Europe, I think you're mostly out.
I think so too.
Yeah, coming back from that is from a 0 replacing last in one event. But look at I know obviously the games are different. The CrossFit games are different. But look at Laura Hobart. She made a huge comeback last year, and many times. So I don't know. I think Europe is gonna be really, really hard this year. Man, I think Europe this year is gonna be wild level. People are really fit.
I think so too.
I think Europe. I think the new standard for the how they share the last spots for the game, I think it still needs to be like a bit more refined, because like they're taking in account like positions from 2 years ago, where like obviously there were more positions for the USA, so there were more USA athletes. But I think like there's still like one more turn to be done to that system, because I still think it's not fair.
Yeah, for sure. 2 years ago, nobody knew that this is gonna matter, that your open performance will matter someday. They didn't know, so they just yeah, I'm in the 10%, whatever.
Yeah. But
So they
so
had no
that's why
idea.
you can like get a 0 maybe in that region and still qualify to the games. All in all, I would have I'm a bit more revolutionary maybe, but I would have loved like none of the athletes in the medal side, like when they knew they were taking Alexander Caron and I don't know what's the name of the other guy, but they took two of them. But like they should have, yes, like, okay, no, none of us is gonna go out and compete. Like that should be a standoff against CrossFit, because like many of them were like saying something in Instagram like against that decision.
Yeah.
But if you don't do nothing like there in the moment, you have nothing to do.
Yeah.
But if everyone goes like, we're not going out if he does not come out, probably the outcome would have been different.
Yeah, for sure. Is there a union in CrossFit? Do they have like a?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so too.
I think there's been like some groups that they have like help for athletes, some things like that, but not like a union thing.
Mm. Yeah, man. But I want to talk about the sled, like the first workout. When they announced this and the standard wasn't like sure how heavy the sled would be, wasn't sure. I thought, yeah, this is gonna be the endurance workout of the week. But now I think the sled is the thing. Like if you can move that sled, you can afford to be slower on the machines.
I don't really like when major part of the workout is determined by one movement. You know, and you know, like that doesn't really test your average or your, you know, your fitness, your, you know, fitness. You know, of course, sometimes happens, but it's like the dumbbells in Linda and everything, you know, like I don't really like that, but I really consider that in this event, I don't know how heavy it's gonna feel. We've been testing it and it feels really heavy, but it completely, you know, completely like
Depends
the
on the
surface determines
surface,
a
yeah.
lot. but yeah, I think that workout is a lot about that sled and how you move it. Because when we tested the first time, when we tried those movements, we were like, oh, you gotta be good at running in this event. You really have to be really good at running if you want to be good at this event, because, you know, of course, you just is the math. Like ski, maybe 4 minutes in the ski, maybe 4 minutes in the eco bike. If you run a 4-kilometer average pace, it's 8 minutes if you run fast. So it's double or more than double. So, you know, like running plays a big role, but now it's a lot about that sled.
Yeah, I think so too.
I mean, I like it, you know, I like that workout. Again, I like that workout, but there's a lot about that sled.
Yeah. What do you think in general, like the new programming under bars? Like sometimes I feel it's a little bit too gimmicky.
Yeah.
Like all this new stuff, the gymnastic stuff. And what do you think about, like, will we not see like single movements anymore? Like even the heavy snatch, you have to earn it with the running on a treadmill. Like, are the days gone where we just have a 1 rep max clean or 1 rep max deadlift or stuff like that?
More like complexes and like last year, like with the complex and everything. But yeah, I think I totally agree with the gimmicky part of it, and I don't mind it that much if you like put it on some particular event at the games, like last year with the crossovers or the pirouettes. But those kind of moments for the open, I think it's not just like the place for them. I think you can do like a proper open, like with simple movements. Like they used to be more about that, and I think it's going a bit in the direction of like some gimmicky stuff.
And do you like that we're not seeing like only a max snatch these days?
I like it, yes.
Yeah.
No, yeah. I think it's always cool, like to see like a strength event, also like how it's paced, and like you get to see like one athlete, the other. You cannot see that in any other workouts, so you can see everyone how they're doing. Like last year at regionals, I think it was at the teams, they had to do like the snatch ladder.
Yeah, we did. Yeah,
with the weight you
heaviest.
wanted. And Yone, one of the girls from the team, had as the personal RM, like in the last movement. It was like, it's such a strong moment. You don't get to see that in other workouts.
Yeah.
Like basically everyone loves to see heavy lifting.
That's what we see in Instagram.
1 rep max. Everybody loves that. If you go to the crowd, if you see the events, like when there is a 1 rep max of whatever, there is so many people in the stands, like so many people screaming.
Yeah.
Like, to be honest, like no one wants to see 40 muscle ups unbroken. Everyone wants to go to the 1 rep max, and it makes sense. So it's everything for the show, and I think it's a basic skill. You got to be strong for being a good CrossFitter. But this year in semifinals, I really considered this pretty similar in these events, because it's true that you have to run before. It's true.
Yeah.
But you don't need to run really fast. But the good thing is that you have to test your strength, but also a little tired, and also your ability not to miss the reps and to focus. And because maybe you can be really strong, but you can miss a snatch just for not putting enough attention, or your ability to load up the weights in the bar, or I don't know, you're taking decisions in a very little time because you only have 2.5 minutes. So that's what I like about this event. And as you can see, the strong athletes, they are still lifting heavy. They are lifting 140 kilo snatch. So if you are strong and a good athlete, you're going to lift heavy. We just saw that. So I think it's a good test for strength.
And I really like that the athletes are going at the same time, so that there's more like, oh, this guy is putting like 5 pounds more than me. I changed that quickly.
Have you seen people like stealing the plates for the for the others? Like steal.
That would be amazing.
10 seconds. Can I get those plates? Yeah.
That would be amazing. I need more weights. Give me that.
Yeah, that's it. You can have all of my weights. I can have so many left.
That would be amazing. Like, no fair play here. I steal your plates. But that was always a thing which I thought about at the games. Like, there was this one games where they had like a max lift, and people were going after each other. But when you finished, you had to sit on a bench and watch the other person. I really like that, and I would, as a programmer for the spectators, I would push that even further. Like in weightlifting at the Olympics or something, it's always like one person at the stage, and the others are way in the back, and they don't see that.
Yeah, and
that was 2019.
The order depends on the weight like the athletes choose. So like you have to play with that too. So
yeah, but I would love it like for CrossFit if they do something like you have to sit in front of the other person's like lifting that,
facing him, looking at him,
like staring at each other while they lift. That would be amazing. Like, even for the person who is lifting, it would be more like nervous, and the others would be like, so I have to watch this shit now.
Sitting in front.
Yeah. Well, what you said earlier, that how much does it matter that Europe is the last semifinal?
For us, I think we all, the team, we all think that it's worse for us, because I think our athletes, Alex and all of the team of athletes, they are so well prepared. Like they've trained everything. Like I think it would be hard to like get them with something they are not ready for. So they can adapt really quickly at competition, like just knowing the event at the moment, and they know themselves so well. But for other guys who maybe haven't been training these things, having 3-4 weeks, you can get so so big of an improvement in that time that I don't feel it's really fair, but someone has to go last, and I think we always go last actually. Like Europe always goes last.
It's like just Europe for the.
But yeah, for us, we would have loved like to be like the first week, and just like have less time to prepare for that. But like now we're doing like super specific work, but I feel like we would have been okay. Like just showing up.
I think like we are really well prepared for the unknown, and we've been training a lot, especially for that, because you never know what's going to happen in semifinals. So if we would have been the first regional, I think we like training culture athletes would have been better prepared than 3 weeks after, because now people can be specialized in specific movements and they can train a little bit. So I think it's not good for us to have that such a long time. But yeah, again, like as Hugo said, like someone has to go last.
Do you have to like hold your athletes back to not test these workouts too much?
Sorry, what?
Do you have to hold your athletes back to not test these workouts too much?
Like we leave that to Mike, who he's not here today, but he's like the programmer for training culture, and like he just knows like how to like train things specifically, but like the proper workout, like the workout, like as we say in semifinals, I think they've just done it like just some of them like once or
like again, we don't like testing the workouts itself, like the whole thing. But we like doing similar stuff to get the feeling and to plan a strategy. This time we are actually doing the whole thing of some of the events to make a strategy. But like it was not hard for us or for the to stop the athletes. Like, hey, don't do the whole thing.
No, they trust him. They trust what he programs. So
of course, like Mike, has a really, an amazing background as a coach and as a programmer. He unfortunately he wasn't able to be here today, but he had a lot to say about programming, about training. But yeah, it was not hard for us to hold the athlete, but to hold the athletes, not to do the whole thing. But also I think that mindset plays a big role, and some athletes need to do this event completely just to know how they feel and to get confident. So it's very personal. Some of them need to do the whole thing, some others do not. I think it's all about also experience. Like the better you know yourself and the more years have you been doing this, how you're going to feel.
Yeah, I was talking this with Alex last 2 days ago. Like he's a veteran. Like he's been to the games twice, been to regionals. So
a veteran.
He knows how.
I'm 31, bro.
You're a veteran.
You're done. You're old.
You're
man.
No, but I mean, like
my joints hurt.
He knows himself. Like he knows probably better than all of the others that how he's gonna feel in each ward and what are gonna be the troubles he's gonna face. But for the rest of them, it's more like about sensations, like not just doing to see what time they have a sensations, well, they should improve, where they have more room for improvement. And
I think like knowing yourself, like getting to know yourself in as an athlete, especially in CrossFit, because you have to, there's so many movements. It's just so complex. And so getting yourself as an athlete in this sport is really complicated. Especially like your mindset, your body, like getting to know yourself is one of the hardest things as an athlete. So of course, you can test the workout, you can test it, and you need a little test to plan a strategy. In regards to, you want to qualify for the games, you need a strategy. You cannot just show up there and whatever. We have 3 weeks. So we have 3 weeks to plan a strategy for each athlete. And that's what we're doing. But you never know. You're going to show up there. You're going to go to the competition floor. There's a lot of people in the crowd. There's cameras. There's a judge. There's so many things that can go wrong. So trying to have a strong mindset in competition and getting to know yourself in that point, it's really complicated. So you never know. As I said, like you can test the events in advance, but you never know what's gonna happen there.
And maybe not just one strategy, but multiple, just in case things don't go as planned.
There's so many just in cases. Like just in case I'm gonna have this tool to develop that skill.
That's the thing. Like Mike always said, like we have to have like a big box of tools with many different things. Like maybe you're very good, very efficient doing muscle ups this way, but maybe try also this way, and so different ways to do every movement, so you can adapt better to competition.
Yeah, that's the more tools you have in your box, the better. You have to do burpees. How many ways of doing burpees do you have? Like toes to bars. Like how many ways? You just do? We don't do just toes to bars, right? There's different ways of doing toes to bars. Doing fast, doing this the spoon, as we call it. There's so many ways of doing a specific movement. Yeah. So the more tools you have for a specific thing, the better. And this is what we love about CrossFit. So,
I really like that. I really like that mindset part. Like, you have to also have a toolbox of mindsets. Like, how will you react to that situation, and if it's not happening, how do you react? Like,
also
I really like that
you have around you the how we are surrounded by, like here, like we brought together like many of the best athletes from Spain to train together in the same gym, and many people thought that would be a problem because of the ego or something, and it's been like the other way around. Like you can see like such good sportsmanship between them. Like they have so close relationship, and they help together. They help themselves, and like they just want to see the other one succeed also. And we as a business, like we travel with them to all the competitions. Like we're always like a big group. Like in Dubai, there were like 50 people in the stands, and we were like 25 of them. So
we're 51 of them.
We travel everywhere. Like we try to like support the athletes, because the first day is not good for everyone. Like for instance, Fabi in Dubai, like he ended up winning the competition, but the first day after the tower event, like he was so frustrated.
He was depressed, man.
He was thinking
he was so depressed.
Maybe it was like time to let it go. Like it's not gonna be. I'm not gonna be a champion. He was so down, and like having a good because people sometimes your mindset can fail, but if you have like a good group of people around you, that's like a strong net.
And also like to get distracted when you are alone. If you're by yourself and you only have, I don't know, you only have your girlfriend there, or you only have your family or whatever. Well, your family,
coach
or a coach, it's easy to be, it's easy to keep thinking about negative thoughts. And, if you spend a lot of time by yourself, and that is no good. But if you are surrounded by good people, it also helps you to get distracted. Sometimes you don't need to have people around you telling you, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. Sometimes you just need people around you to talk about different stuff and try to forget, like to clear your mind. And that is, we consider really important. In this case, in semifinals, or also like the games, we are never alone. We always have a big team around us. And I think, and that is really important, and makes you put your feet in the earth, like it makes you
ground yourself.
To ground yourself. And so there is never room for ego, because you learn how to train with people and to get beaten by people better than you. And so I think that is being surrounded by good people is important.
That's so interesting for me. When we talked about that when I had Aniol on the show. Like I walked free Camino de Santiago's.
Yeah.
And the Spanish people, man, they were always like in groups, and they always walked together.
Very social.
they were
loud.
really so social and always like in groups and good vibes and good like just good feelings. They were never like a Spanish guy or a Spanish girl like walking alone, and that kind of spirit translates over into your group. Like
we're afraid of loneliness.
It's really interesting.
No, but
I hate being alone, dude.
No, we're really social, and we enjoy like sharing like our culture here in Spain is that we like to share, like not just going for a meal, like we like to go with friends to do stuff. Like it's so strong here in our culture.
It was a process for me, honestly, to also like, now that you're talking about being together, it was also a process for me to learn how to train with other athletes. I've been training along for a while. Well, you know, like I always trained with my friends at the gym, you know, but they didn't have the same determination that I have or the same goal that I have. So sometimes the mindset is different. But when you are surrounded by people with the same mindset as you have and with the same goals, for me, it was a little hard at the beginning to start to learn how to train with people, but this made me really good. Like this helped me a lot to, you know, to enjoy the journey and to be more distracted in general, you know, that you know what I mean? So it was a process for me, and I think it's really important to develop a good mindset as an athlete.
How many people do you have at the semi in Berlin?
9.
Eight in Europe and 1 in Copa Sur. So it's
and
3
how many
girls and 6 guys.
How many on the team side?
No, all individuals.
Well, actually, we actually have one, Andrea Valenciano.
Oh, well, Andrea. Yeah, Andrea is she's going teams in the European region too.
Awesome. What do you think about Fabi? Like that finish in Dubai, that was insane.
It was insane. Everyone cried. We all cried.
That was insane. I was watching on the screen. I was like, what is Fikowski doing? Oh man, there's Beneito. There's Fiebig who is winning this. And I was like, what the fuck, man?
That was insane. But we knew before that event, like, man, anything can happen here. Like everything is on this event.
And it was the last rep, man. Fikowski had 1 rep left. It was insane. That was one of the excited finish I've watched in the last.
It was years. For me, like, man, we always like we're screaming, like we're so.
I was on the screen. What the fuck is happening?
There was so much tension. There was so much tension.
But I feel like, what I want to ask, I feel like that moment, like I think Fabi is another athlete after now. I think he has such a confidence. It seems like he has such a new level of like, I can do this. And he's like basically in Miami and now in all the qualifications process so far, he seems like he's at another level because of that.
He's such a good athlete and he has gone like many years like missing like qualifying to like important stuff like by little like going to the last chance. He's one of those athletes who have like yet to take that step. And I think Dubai was like this prize for himself, like he really deserved, like probably all of the others also deserve but like for us, like we felt like it was well deserved. And
like he's been like so close to get something for such a long time, and this time he made it.
And well, like for semis, like obviously he's super well prepared, like he's been training hard and he's really fit. But semifinals is a whole other beast. Like you never know. Like I said before, there's like 21 people who have strong chances, and really none of the workouts really favor him. Like there's no like a really heavy barbell or really like CrossFit stuff. Like maybe the second to last workout, but I think he has to like just focus on placing like as high as possible in all of them, maybe not winning them, but like in Dubai, we knew like there was 2 or 3 watts that he could win, and that's also a different mentality. Like having that in mind, like you know that you have the possibility of winning like a couple of workouts. That's a relief for yourself. then you start with a Burj Khalifa climb, and things don't go as planned, because actually, like, he was climbing last, and he overtook like Karabis and Jukic, but and that's why he thought he was doing so great. Like,
he catch two people.
Yeah, but he catches two people, but you didn't have any other references because you didn't know. So he probably didn't have the correct pace. He thought he could have gone stronger, but when he got up, like, they told him, like, you're like the 16th. So
he was devastated after the first event. It took him a while to come back mentally from that. Yeah. And then after two more events, he was placing top 3, I think. It's like, what now? How are you feeling now? Yeah. You feeling better?
But isn't it also like, if you know I can win this event, is it also like a lot of pressure? Because if you don't, you're not capitalizing.
Pressure is good.
Pressure is good. It means you deserve. You have the possibility. Like, having no pressure, yeah, that's good, but it means a whole another thing. Like, you have to learn to deal with that pressure. That's part of being an athlete.
It's part of the game. Like, pressure is good. Oh, you
have to deserve pressure.
Yeah, you have to deserve. You have to earn it. What a bad thing. You can win this event. What a pressure, right? Like, you're so good, you can win this event. That's a lot of pressure. Yeah, I know, but it is what it is. Actually, you got to go and get it.
In the clean ladder in Dubai, like, we knew Fabi is one of the strongest weightlifters in CrossFit, but like, people were carrying on with weights, like, they did not fail. Like,
bro, we were like, okay, first barbell, 143 kilograms. I don't know, maybe some people won't get to the second bar. And literally all of the athletes went
went to the second bar,
like 160 kilograms. And I was like, what? Bro, I don't know, 6 years ago, no one could lift that. And now like 143. I wouldn't been out in the first barbell.
And for the girls, it was similar, like Oyana.
110. How many girls did 110?
Like, nearly everyone did have 110, and she got to like 120, I think. Well,
she did 123 or something. It was 122.
It was impossible to beat Freyova in that work. She was like,
she did it so easy. Yeah, like,
I think she's the sleeper too for the semifinal. I don't think.
I was a little pissed. Like, it's too heavy for girls. It's way too heavy. Like, the first barbell, it was like 90 something, I don't know. But then all of them lifted.
Yeah. And I think Dubai was really interesting this year. Like,
it was
like, I think it gave some people really like confidence and mindset boosts.
Yeah.
Like, for sure, Fabio Beneito, also like Fiebig. Like, our guy from Germany, like, he went as a substitute, but he wasn't supposed to go. But I think one guy said, I qualified, but I'm not gonna go because it's too expensive.
True.
And then Fiebig moved on and went on second. And I think Matt Fraser asked Moritz at the end, Fiebig, which place did you do at the qualifier? And I was a substitute. and end up at second place and earning a lot of money.
Really athlete.
Yeah,
it was. I think since there was like very little people in the competition.
Yeah,
and there was very few athletes.
So many huge athletes. Yeah.
How many? 20
boys,
20 20 men, 20 women. And there was a good environment generally between the athletes and sportsmanship in general.
The after party was a bit sad because we were so little of us, and Dubai doesn't have like the craziest party scene.
At least the one that we got access to.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was.
The Spanish community always carrying the after parties.
It was fun. It was a lot of fun. Dubai was fun, and I think mentally for Fabian to win that event, it's like when you qualify for the first time for semifinals or for regionals or whatever, it gives you a different mentality. It's like, now I can make it. It's easier for me to make it again. Once you've done it once, it's easier for you to do it again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I'm capable of doing this. But if you fail, if you always fail, like even a small person, there's always this thought: am I not good enough? Am I not good enough?
Like,
and if you win an event like Dubai, that's a champion mindset. I can win an event.
Effort you have to make to get there.
Yeah,
you are, what level of effort you have to make to get there again. So once you've done it, it's easier to, to visualize and to try to copy to do that effort again.
Yeah, for sure. Like if you watch the semis last week and this week, do you think this is gonna be a good show?
This week or Europe?
Europe.
Well, I think it's going to be a good show because there are so many athletes with possibilities that we're going to be in the edge of our seats like until the last event, which is I think is a good event for being the last, like something like strong, like fast, and I think it's going to be a good show.
Yeah, it's going to be. I think if you ask me to predict the top impossible. 11, I cannot answer. I cannot answer because I don't know.
Yeah.
Of course,
is that more easy to do at the women's field or at the men's field, or is it the same? Sorry? Is it easier to predict the women's qualifier or the men's qualifier, or is it basically the same?
I think it's hard to predict both of them. Maybe in the women's side, there's not such a big group of people who have chances. Because there's some really strong women, like they're gonna be dominant. Like probably in the male side, like you couldn't say like one athlete who's gonna be like for sure
winner of our event, right?
So it's really hard to predict that. Like we're confident. Like our athletes have been doing like the work. Like they've been showing up at the gym. They have the nutrition dialed in, the mindset, and like the strategy and the planning has been good, but semifinals, so everyone has like the same chances.
Anything can happen. Yeah, I think last year I had Luka Djukic on, and he said like no male in Europe can for sure say that he's gonna go to the games.
That's correct.
I think that's still the same this year. Yeah, but for the spectators, like people like me, I think it's gonna be like, if not the most exciting like qualification event in Europe ever so far.
Probably.
Yeah, like when you don't know what's the result, it makes it more intense.
Yeah. And like you said, I think we have to wait until the last workout to know who's going and who's not.
Yeah,
because
for a spectator, like if you don't have any skin on the game, like you don't mind who wins. Like it's gonna be like such a fun spectacle. Like if you're like really rooting for someone, it's gonna be like highs and lows, but it's gonna be a good show.
Man, it's gonna be so. I have more people. I had more people on the show, and which I'm rooting on then there is a qualification spot. For me, it's gonna be like fucked up.
I think if like 9 of our 9 athletes qualify, I don't mind who qualifies like the other spots. I'm fine with that.
9 athletes qualifying, like well, that's
for you it's easier. Yeah, man. How many days is it? Like 7 or 8 days left? I think it's next week.
Yeah. It starts and
I'm getting nervous.
On Friday for us.
Man, when do you guys leave to Berlin?
Tomorrow.
Oh man.
And
awesome.
Training to be done there.
Awesome, man. Where do you train?
I think do you have like a EBOB? Yes, so like kind of like gym CrossFit mixed together.
Yep.
It's always difficult like to find like it because like
we're a big crew,
13, 14 going to the gym. Like we have to split like people who are just like coming to help.
Yeah, like that support.
They have to go somewhere else because otherwise it's impossible to get it in the gym.
We have to tell our friends not to come to train because we are so many people that we have to ask them, please go to another gym.
Please don't train with us.
There.
That's awesome, man.
Well, where was it? This year in Miami,
Yeah,
this
you
year,
had so many people in Miami, I think.
we went, we have people around the world doing our programming. And, and this time we had also people competing in elite and RX, individual, masters. So we were so many people. And we decided to come, all of us, to CrossFit Wynwood. I think it is. Yeah, CrossFit Wynwood. And man, we took all the place.
Yeah,
we were like 25 people training there, and there were only 3 assault bikes. And I don't know, like, it was crazy.
Yeah, Alex had to train, and he was like, "Okay, Alex, you cannot train. Like, you have to help me.
Yeah,
let's organize everything. Like,
I also had to train.
You go in the assault bike, you go in the runner, you go in the."
I also had to train because I was competing, but I couldn't because we had to organize this because it was a mess. So yeah, I think next year we're gonna be better prepared for this.
Yeah, there was this joke from me that you guys should buy your own plane, that you can just get into the place with your own training culture plane.
Maybe one day, who knows?
Maybe one day it would be good, like for all the travels. Yeah, for sure.
But for when was the training culture like founded? How many guys do you guys?
How long ago?
Actually, like the company training culture was founded like in 2019, but like the programming's been going on since 2014 when Mike opened his CrossFit gym. Like we all trained there, and like that's what we trained. That's what took Alex to the games. Like that programming, we knew he had a good product. Like there were other programs selling in Spain, and we really thought that Mike's product, like maybe one day if you had the opportunity to talk to him, like he's has such a passion for sports. He's a PhD in sports science. He loves it. So we knew it was a good product, and we tried to talk him so many times into like selling it to other CrossFitters so everyone could do it, not just like in our gym. And he didn't feel it was ready at the time. So a couple of years later, like he felt we needed a team to do it correctly, because I'm glad we're a team. There's so many things to do. So in 2019, we launched it. Alex, myself, Mike, and Jose, who is the other member.
It was after regionals, right?
Yeah.
After regionals.
After summer, like we really like just throw it out like as let's try. Like we invested so little money. Like yes, let's try. If it works, like we didn't know if people would like it. And we had this amazing welcome by the community. Like everyone's been so nice to us, like all the time when we go everywhere. And for us, it's like so important that we have the similar mindset. Like it wouldn't matter if we are doing something else, like another kind of business or other something another objective in life. We would do it like the same way. Like we have so determined culture, like in the company, like how we do things, like the determination, the discipline, but also like having fun doing it. Like we have a bit of a dark humor, all of us. Like we share the same mentality for everything, and I think that's so important because like we're friends, but we have a business together, and you always have like arguments or things to argue at, but we're friends at the end of the day, and that's a big part of it.
That's a healthy like environment. Like you have to clash sometimes, but
yeah, we do.
There has to come something good out of it.
Yeah.
But and how does it work? Is it also like online programming? Like can someone from I don't know, Asia sign up to it?
We have people in Japan doing the programming. Like the core of our business is that we sell CrossFit programming online. We have like the most important thing for us is that they have like a coach, like someone who they can speak directly and give them feedback there every day, like with the videos and with pictures and everything. So the relationship athlete coach for us is one of the most important things.
It is very important. Like one of the things we do. I think one of the things we do the better is the relationship between the coach and the athlete. And we also, like Hugo said, we fix the videos. We do technical corrections. We we have like a personalized coaching with the athlete. So I think that's one of the things we do the best. Also, like the programming is good, like
that's how we started.
Like we believe the most.
I think something that not many people talk about it when talking about programming is that it has to be creative. Like it has to be fun, like not just for the everyday athletes, but for the elite athletes also. Like it gets boring. Like you don't want to do the same stuff. Like I've heard of programs like they knew if today's Monday, I know what I have to do. Like even if I don't look at the programming, but Mike, you can see him every week, like in weekends, like thinking about like how to achieve like the same result he's looking for, but
with different structure.
Yeah, so it doesn't get boring. Like that's one of the things we're most proud of. But yeah, we started with the CrossFit programming, and we expanded into like we have like for boxes. We have programming for like people who just like maybe train at gyms and are looking for more like aesthetic look, like mixing gym with CrossFit, but doing like I don't want to do a Fran, or I don't want to do muscle ups. I just want to train and be fit, like more like strength and conditioning. And we have nutrition, mindset, like different products now.
I think one of the hardest things in the programming is, as you said, trying to be creative. And like being creative and trying to give the same stimulus or something that you're looking for in a different way with a different structure is really hard. And if you've been following us for a while, and if you've been following our training program for a while, you will understand what we're saying. And because I've been trained by Mike for 10 years now. 10 years now.
Yeah,
how long?
9 years and a half.
Almost nine and a half years now. And
you're not bored.
Such a journey, always different.
Every week it's something we're like.
It's always something.
I've seen Thursday.
Something. It's always something new, something that I have never done before, and it's of course you have to repeat some stuff to get better. Of course, but trying to be creative is one of the hardest things in CrossFit programming.
I think so too. I think that's so important. Like even more for the general public. Like for me, I get bored so fast. And I
in general, or only for training?
In training, I
actually want to quit right now, like the podcast.
I'm so bored of talking to these guys.
No, it's fun, man. It's fun. Like I did the training plan for half a year, but then 5 months ago I received my first child. I got a boy. We got a boy.
Congratulations.
It's a weird way to say, like, I received my first.
Like,
came in
I received it.
Man, my English is a little bit rusty.
The box.
But then, like like things like that, and all of a sudden your like training schedule changes so much, and I got so frustrated that I can't do all of the stuff in the programming anymore because it was just too much. I didn't have
TC Flash.
enough time.
You can do TC Flash. We got 1 hour programming.
Yeah, and it was so frustrating me. Then I like spread out, like 1 week of programming took me like 3 weeks to do, and it was so boring. And then I was like, fuck this. I'm just gonna do like CrossFit.com for a while and to get moving again and have fun again. Like even if I do it like one day, like 20-minute workout a day, whatever. I'm just doing something instead of being like depressed. Oh, I only did the snatches today and whatever. Yeah. I think like getting the people to just continue and trust the process and be creative with that, and that they still have fun all the way through. Like for you, 20 years, consistency is king, man.
It's hard to be consistent. Yeah. And of course, you're not going to be motivated all the time. It's impossible. So you got to be committed and you got to be consistent, and right? Also, and it's your duty and it's your job, everyone's job, to find the skill, to develop the skill, to keep yourself motivated through the whole process. And that's the hardest part as being an athlete or someone who trains often. Like, you got to keep up and find yourself, develop the skill to keep yourself motivated.
Yeah, definitely like one of the most important things in a programming, like to have a good program.
But as a programmer, also you have to take into account that sometimes you're programming like for an average athlete. Like not everyone has to be like 3 hours in the morning and 2 hours in the afternoon in the gym. Like that's not for everyone. Like you have to enjoy it. You have to like think about it in the long term. Like you're not gonna do it like for 3 months. Like everyone can do it for 3 months, but it has to be like into your lifestyle. Like, okay, I can do maybe 1 hour and a half, maybe some days 2 hours, but like if you're not living off of CrossFit, I think that's pretty much enough, like enough training. And you, as a programmer, you have to know, maybe you want to improve everything, then you have to look for good programming, but you're not going to keep like a double sessions, like a day, like for a long time.
Yeah. Only if it's locked down in Europe and you can't do anything else.
Yeah.
Guys, it's always interesting for me. How do you guys found the sport? How do you guys get into it?
I found it
20 years
online.
ago.
I found it online. I saw the workouts like when it was like CrossFit first moments, and I did some workouts in the gym, like just
by yourself.
Try it, yeah. And then I heard that there was this CrossFit that opened in our city, and I went there with a friend.
Where are you guys located?
In San Sebastian, in the north of Spain, the Basque Country.
Yeah, that's a beautiful place.
Food capital.
It's funny, like I also started CrossFit because I was a kickboxer. I've been doing kickboxing for a while. I've been doing martial arts for a while, for a lot of years, and I was combining martial art, like kickboxing and boxing with lifting weights, like bodybuilding stuff. And I was a little bored, so I wasn't seeing any functional work in my routine. Like maybe I look good, but I don't, I'm not functional.
Yep.
So I'm going to try something else. And I started watching these videos on YouTube of these elite athlete CrossFitters looking jacked and very, with really nice bodies.
That's going to be me.
Yeah. With with amazing bodies and they were able to lift heavy, to run fast and do everything. So I was like, I want to be one of them. I want to be a superhero too. So so I started doing it by myself. I always was searching for hero workouts on the online, and I started doing these workouts by myself at the gym. But then I noticed, like, man, this is not going well. Like, I need someone to teach me how to do these movements because I don't know shit. And then I joined to a gym, and to CrossFit gym, and this is how we met each other. Like all training culture team.
Yeah,
this is how we met each other.
Like, well, actually, Alex and I like met like once, twice in kickboxing, and also our older sisters are friends. So we go a bit back. But with Mike and Jose, we all met there in that CrossFit gym. And actually, I remember that Alex is one of the first workouts he did in that gym was Angie. And like he went for 60 pull-up unbroken, like for his first workout.
I used to practice this.
He couldn't move his arms like for the next day. It was funny.
It was funny because I used to practice. I love practicing stuff. Like handstand and I was so in the practicing new movements by myself. The handstand walk, the whatever CrossFit movements, And my first CrossFit class was Angie. And Angie is like 100 pull-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats, and 100 push-ups. Something I don't know the order, but I think it was like that. And by that time, my pull-ups were, of course, obviously no reps. Like the weird pull-ups.
60 reps.
But I did a bunch. I was like, okay, this is CrossFit, so you got to go all out. So I went like the biggest set I could. Like the 60 I went everything unbroken. I did like 60, whatever. I did so many pull-ups. And after the first,
I'm winning.
And after the first set, my arms were like completely like bended straight to my arm. It was not.
And then I did singles.
No. Like I break up a lot of the pull-ups in a lot of sets. But the funny thing is, like after that workout, I couldn't train in like 3 days because my arms were so sore. My arms were like this. I looked like a dinosaur. I would look like T-Rex for like a week, and I couldn't train at the gym. And it was funny. Like my first workout had like I was so sore after the first CrossFit workout. It's like I want to do this.
What we also
I want to do this.
may say that it's maybe not the best workout to get like a newcomer into CrossFit, like the gym.
100 pull-ups, rhabdomyolysis in the
That's your first movement. Okay, you have to do 100 then.
Just get a rhabdo.
Like, okay, but I cannot do them. Like, what should I do?
Hello, welcome to CrossFit. We're doing Mirth.
Well,
here's your West.
I can see that happening in many gyms, huh? That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think when I started back in the day, I went to this one gym and we did as a warm-up, we did like 100 push-ups. As a warm-up, we did 100 push-ups. And I was like, what the fuck?
Was a warm-up.
That's a good warm-up.
Sometimes
I was done after that.
Sometimes I get to some CrossFit gyms.
It's crazy.
And I take a look to the class. It's like, bro, this guy should be qualifying for semifinals, not me. Some of the class workouts in some gyms are so hard. Yeah. It's even harder than what we do.
Ridiculous.
It's insane. I take a look to some classes like, man, what the fuck are they doing?
When we traveled to Australia, like the year like we founded training culture, like it was 2019. Well, maybe just before COVID. We were over there and we went to Khan's gym, CrossFit Play in
Khan Porter.
And
Khan.
We looked at the Metcon going on in the class. It was crazy. Like none of us wanted to do it. Like it was like 10-minute demos of thrusters and burpees.
I think only one of us tried to make the EMO. Of course they had like scaled, version, but options, the main workout was so hard. It was an impossible workout. It was
insane, man. Yeah, man. Thanks for getting on. That was fun. Time is like moving so fast. I have one last question. Like, is the training culture, is it only for Spanish people, or are you?
No, of course. We have a lot of international people. We are expanding, of course. We started with the Spanish community, but now we are expanding we have our programming 100% in English and in French. So
French coaches and English coaches.
Okay.
So everyone could try it. And we're open to everyone. Like maybe someone who doesn't speak English, French, or Spanish is going to be hard, but we're thinking about that and keeping that in mind. And as we grow, we're going to have like more international coaches. But it's for everyone. Like everyone can join.
Especially like our coaches speak. The French coaches, you can have a feedback 100% in French or 100% in English. So I think that's something to keep in mind.
Cool. Man, guys, thanks for being on. I will be at the Spanish coast in, I think, September. We will walking from San Sebastian actually to Bilbao and maybe Santander on the coast.
You're gonna love it.
That's a good walk.
I'm gonna
it's
drop
a pretty
by.
long walk.
Let us know and we'll take you around here. We'll show you
awesome, man.
Food in good time.
Awesome, man. I wish you all the best for the semi. Yeah, for sure, man.
Okay, so we'll see you there.
Yeah. How many people are you at the semi? Like 200?
More than counted by like 30 plus, 30 plus 40, something like that.
Yeah. Awesome, man. We're going to crush it. Have a good day.
Hope so.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye-bye.